Hello everyone and welcome to another one of our videos. Today we're going to be doing the Morimoto headlights on my 2011 F-150 Raptor. The process will apply to all the F-150s. Raptors aren't going to really have anything specific, but that's what I'm installing it on. And these are the XB with the triple projectors. They're not the light version or whatever they call them. These are also the ones with the white surround, not the amber surround. I bought these before the amber surround ones were out. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these out of the box, go over kind of what the installation process is going to look like. You can see I already have one headlight out because I was working on some wiring of those lights back there. But we're going to go ahead and get these out of the box and start getting them installed on the truck. So this is what the headlight looks like, the passenger side one out of the box. This one is the one that for me came with the installation instructions and everything in there, which is nice to see because a lot of the stuff that I bought for this thing doesn't come with installation instructions. I'm going to go ahead and read through these. What I'm going to do is leave the cling wrap on most of the light, especially on like the face, but I am going to take some ceramic sealant, ceramic coating, and kind of go around the outside edges of the lights on the clear lens, just to make sure that those are kept as nice as they can be, to give them as much protection as I can. So I'm going to go ahead and put that coating on the outside. I'm going to do the full lens. Once I've got these installed on the truck and I remove the shrink wrap, I'm just leaving this on to prevent any scratches, and we'll start with the installation from there. Alright, so first of all, I lied. What came in the bag was not installation instructions. It was a thing saying go online for the installation instructions. So alright, whatever, I'll take it. These two harnesses we're not going to need. These are for the OEM HIDs. So if you have OEM HIDs and you're putting these headlights in, you're going to need these to connect to, I think, the main bulb. I'm not using those on my truck because it's an 11 OEM halogens. And then we have the fuse tap that's for the DRL lights. So this is what's going to power the DRLs, which I believe are just the surround lights, the non-turn signal portion of them. So what this is going to do is go into the fuse box, tap into fuse. It's nice they actually preload it with 2 fuses, so it's pre-set up and ready to go. And then these are going to run one light to either corner, basically, of the truck for the headlights, or to where the headlights are. And they're going to plug in and power that. So I'll show you in the fuse box where this goes and the installation process there. And we're going to move on to putting the headlights in, because otherwise it should just be a straight up drop-in replacement. Alright, so I have my wiring kind of preliminarily run. I've got the connector down here. You can see I've got it coming up around through here. It dips up underneath the fuse box bracket to radiator. What I'm going to do right here, since I have a free hole, is use a little, once I figure out exactly how it's positioned, I know the harness isn't going to shift either way, I'm going to use a little clip, one of the tape-on clips that are Christmas trees into here, or one of the Christmas tree zip ties, one of the two, and Christmas tree it into there, so I have something holding down the harness here. I have, like I said, running underneath here. You can see where it pops out on this side. The wire splits off there. I'm probably going to need to do something with the fuse box cover. I'm not sure what yet, but it doesn't fully shut on this side, so we'll figure that out once we get to it. But you can see I have this guy tucked underneath there, how it's looped around. And then I don't know how I'm going to tie things down on this side yet. I may zip tie stuff, I may not. We'll see what we end up having as far as hold down points goes. But this side runs down in here, and you can see right down there the yellow, right there. That's the end of it there. So I still have this headlight in. I didn't take it out for any of the off-road light wiring that I did. But basic process of pulling out the headlights, I'm not going to show it on video. You've got to pull off the 2 little rubber aprons, one right there, one right there. Pull out 3 screws, and then remove the headlight. This is all covered in the Morimoto instructions, which are pretty good, but they don't show some of the details like here. So this video is going to be more of a supplement to that and showing my installation. Now, the other thing that you probably noticed to note is that I did sleeve this entire harness that came from Morimoto. This is just some 1/4-inch split nylon braided sleeving. I'm probably not going to do this part that splits off here, although I might, we'll see. But this is just some that I keep around on spools to use for situations like this where I want to do some nice clean wiring. I've sleeved some other items in the engine bay just to clean them up, not so much for engine dress up, but just to clean up and where things were abraded, put some new and renewed protection on there. So I think that's factory, but some areas like here, some of that stuff over there, et cetera, et cetera. So I think at this point I'm ready to throw the headlights into place. Now, in the instructions, it's going to cover the sequential versus non-sequential turn signal. I'm going to try the sequential out. I want to see how that looks and how I like it. It's basically just a jumper that you change, and I'll show that here on the workbench in a minute. But otherwise, other than that, I'm basically going to drop these in, and then any aiming process stuff I will show on video. All right, so a few things I want to go over on the back of the light before we install it. Number one, going to grease these tabs that get installed into the truck just to make sure that they're able to come in and out easily. That's something that I do. You don't have to do it, but I do recommend doing that. Number two is that I've located all the different connectors. We have the DRL one, we have the three basically factory connectors, and then right here, which looks different from the instructions, so I want to mention it, is what I believe to be the turn signal configuration jumper. So if these two are plugged together, you will have just a normal flashing turn signal, amber, and if you have these unplugged, then you'll have the sequential flashing turn signal, which, like I said, I want to try out. So I've got these unplugged, zip tied them together for now, and that's how the wiring setup's going to be. There's not really a great way to protect these. If I put them in a bag or something like that and zip tied that shut, it would help prevent moisture from getting in, but if moisture got in, it would just retain it in there forever. So living in a dry climate that doesn't rain very often, I'm going to leave them like this, at least for now, because I don't have any blink offs for this type of connector either. At least I don't think I do. If I do, I'll throw some in there. The last thing on the back side is the fact that we have our 4 adjusters here. So I don't know which ones are for low and high beam. I think this one right here is going to be for high beam. This is horizontal adjustment, and I believe that this is going to be high beam vertical adjustment. I'm not 100% sure on that. And then this is going to be horizontal adjustment right here, and this is going to be vertical adjustment, I'm assuming, for the low beams. All of them have labels. You can see right here, 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 and here. Hopefully you can see at least one of those on camera. And those labels basically say don't adjust it more than 3 turns in either direction from where they are right now. So definitely a critical thing. If you over adjust these types of headlights, and any type of headlight that has this type of adjuster, it'll oftentimes break the adjuster. So just keep that in mind when you're adjusting these and aiming them. Don't adjust or don't turn more than 3 full turns clockwise or counterclockwise. So at this point, the headlight's ready to go in. Like I said, I'm going to grease these guys up here, and I should just be able to plug all the different connectors in, and we should be ready to rock and roll. So we'll see what happens once we get all this stuff plugged together. So I wasn't actually able to find some connectors that I'd be able to use as blank offs. These are just pre-pinned, pre-terminated ones that I put some heat shrink on and clamped the ends of. So these are nice and weather tight now, and that'll preserve those 2 connectors. So good news there. I'll link in the video description where to get these off of Amazon or wherever. They're pretty ubiquitous for automotive, and I happen to have one laying around. So now we're going to go ahead and throw the light into the truck and see where we get with that. All right, so a couple things now that the light is installed. You can see I've got the screws in the top, the screw in the bottom. So I want to go over a few things. Number one, the clips on the side over here. Definitely don't grease those. These ones are weaker than the OEM ones, so I actually had to bend them out a little bit, but they do not hold super well in the slots that they slot into and clip into. So keep that in mind. Don't grease, bend them out. And even still, if you tighten down this screw right here, at least in my case, just with the way that my truck is, the way it's set up, the way it's been its whole life, tightening up that fully caused the clips to pop out. They just would not hold in strong enough over there. And the headlight, being just the way that it's shaped, being an aftermarket mold, et cetera, would not sit into place. So for the moment, I have some shim washers back behind here, shimming this out just a little bit so I'm able to tighten this down fully. And then up here, nothing as far as shim washers go. These guys aligned pretty all right, and tightened down no problem, although the headlight is shifted a little bit that way in comparison to the holes. That said, the alignment and everything looks good. I haven't closed the hood yet because I have my little fender cover on, but everything looks all right as far as this goes. So I'm hoping that everything aligns whenever I close the hood as well. And then maybe over time, as the material relaxes, heat cycles, especially with this being by the radiator, that may relax some, and I may be able to take those shim washers out and then zip that tight straight up to the core support there. Either way, it shouldn't be a deal breaker. I did turn on the lights to make sure everything worked. Everything works, which is great. So we've got our 3 low beam projectors there, high beam down there. Our DRL goes all the way around. That's what we tapped off for up there in the fuse box. And then the little side corner lights are right there, and those light up no problem as well. Tested the sequential turn signal. That tests out great as well. So that's working no problem. And I will show all of these things here in just a second once I am able to hop into the truck and demonstrate all of these. So I think that's what's next. And then I'm gonna go ahead and install the other side and make sure everything works and go over any cleanup items that we have to do as far as the wiring up there and whatnot goes. So over to the other side after I show you this, and then we should wrap up from there. All right, here's the headlight, fully lit up, all features engaged. High beam down here again, low beams, super nice and bright, nice and clean on the wall that's behind me. You can see the sequential turn signal. I do actually quite like that. The white does turn off on that top strip whenever the turn signal is actually running, and the rest of the DRL is still on around the outside. So functioning beautifully. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the other side in, and we'll see what we end up with that. Okay, so you can see we have both of the headlights fully installed now. Super happy with the light output, super nice and bright. Really, I can't complain about anything with these lights. The only thing that I do have as far as a gripe goes is the fitment on this one. And I'll show you in a second. It may be due to just the way that my truck was built. I have a much bigger hood to fender gap on this side versus on this side, and this headlight went in perfectly. So maybe due to just Ford manufacturing tolerances and stuff. This truck's never been wrecked, so I know there's nothing there, but it may just be because these trucks are not built to super high precision like a lot of more modern vehicles, especially on the car side. And dealing with German cars, if you watch the rest of the videos on my channel, those are built to a lot closer tolerances than these. The other thing that I wanted to cover before we sign off is the wiring. What I did was end up doing a little Christmas tree zip tie here in the radiator. You can see the wiring harness drops down here, nice and tight and out of sight and out of mind. I sleeved the entire harness. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but I did show it earlier, and definitely recommend doing that just for abrasion resistance and stuff. You can see I've got everything kind of looped together and whatnot here. I've got a P-clip off of a Christmas tree right here, holding the wire going in place. I rerouted the way that the wiring is going into the fuse box as well. If we pop this open, you'll see it kind of goes up and in there and allows both clips to shut down nicely. And then up underneath, right on top of the AC condenser, where the foam strip is where the rest of the wiring runs and drops down in here. No zip ties or anything over here, just held in nice and tightly. I did tuck it kind of in between the core support and the radiator ear right there, and that seemed to hold it in place really well. So I want to show you the end product with the hood shut, or at least almost shut. This is what she looks like. Like I said, came out great in my opinion. You can see what I'm talking about. Really nice tight gap there. Bigger gap there. No pun intended, but mind the gap on your truck. And if you have a big one, just make note that your headlight you may run into the same issue that I had, basically. Nothing that you can't overcome. Shimming it out and everything worked great. And one thing I do want to mention too, these are basically adjusted dead on the money for where they should be from Morimoto. So those cutoffs right there, it's really hard to tell on the wall, especially because I have the door dip in there. But measuring against a nice flat wall outside and on level ground and everything, this right side blends right into the low side cutoff, with the right side being up slightly higher. Side to side aim looks good. So in my case, at least with my particular truck and setup, these basically dropped in without really any need for adjustment, which was nice too. But with that, I want to thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comment section below. I'll address anything that you got questions on that I can, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.